Hey, remember when you were little and your Uncle Tom took you and all your stupid friends to see Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, and all that was going through your head the whole time was, wow, the only thing that could make this experience better is if the entire cast was replaced with cute girls and Uncle Tom would start shaking his wiener like that. Yeah, me either, but for some of you, believe it or not, Trigger answered those prayers more or less back in 2013 with Little Witch Academia. Today we got a real quick recommendation video for a real quick anime. Little Witch Academia is a 26-minute short film that left a bigger impression on me than most 24-episode series I've suffered through lately. The premise is simple enough. Which school for which kids run by which council gets caught up in which shenanigans, but it's Academia's visuals and execution that shines through an otherwise pretty straightforward plot, allowing it to not only come off as fresh, but exotic even, at least in terms of anime. You almost feel like you're watching a Disney film with characters and settings so endearing. LWA is all fun and games, and that's just fine because damn, these are some good games. Director Yoshino is a pretty cool dude out to prove himself, and you can feel he and his team's passion and love for everything that makes Little Witch Academia such a vivid experience, from the previously alluded to setting, to simple character interaction, to the dialogue and pacing, which isn't a simple task when you've only got 26 minutes to prove yourself. Luckily, there's never a dull moment. Doesn't matter how many times I watch Academia, I always end up with a big dumb smile on my face at some point or another, and I feel that's worth mentioning. That a show can transport you to its world successfully enough to evoke unconditional and inadvertent temperament changes without the viewer even realizing it, and excuse me for wanting more of that out of my anime. You could argue that, demo, you just described the fundamentals of someone craving escapism, and that it is unhealthy to enable myself in this way, and I'd tell you to mind your own freaking business. What are you, my therapist? Little Witch Academia is definitely one of the most visually impressive works to come out of Trigger as a part of the Young Animator Training Project's Anime Mirai 2013. This is a film that really doesn't want you to look away even during its downtime. I feel accessibility was a goal Yoshinari strived for when putting together this film, and he hit the nail right on the head. It's colorful, engaging, exciting, and very importantly, has a lack of things being lost in translation, which I feel can often at times be a large contributing factor to someone's disposition in regards to whether or not they give an anime a fair shot. What's great is that not only is this one of the most accessible anime to draw breath in a long time due to these factors and Disney-esque influences, but it's something that you can show to your freaking nieces or cousins or something, and that's a lot more than you can say about most anime. I showed Valrave the Liberator to my nieces. It was a bad move. They are now serial rapists. I know I haven't really said much on the plot of the show so far, but I mean, what you see is what you get. This is Akko. She's a clumsy witch that seeks to prove she's not completely worthless, which she accomplishes in the first 15 minutes of the movie by being completely worthless. This is Susie. She's the best girl, and this is Diana. She's a bitch. Anything else is like basically spoiler territory. Now is the point in the should you watch where I scour for negatives so you know I'm unbiased, but in all seriousness, for me anyway, this is scouring to find negatives in an otherwise pretty solid package. It's predictable, and there are some scenes and terms lifted straight from Harry Potter that might feel like less of a reference and more of a plagiarism to some. And I guess you might think, fucking, I don't know, Luna Nova didn't get enough screen time, but I'll be honest. Perfection is relative, completely subjective. It's not a term I feel like tossing around, and I won't. But Little Witch Academia is one of the few films I'd probably feel comfortable giving a 10 if I rated things, simply because it hits all of its marks and hits them in stride. Simplicity's the dish, and it's served here with great care and topped with such generous amounts of love that I know I'll likely come back to it eventually again and again. Am I saying it's the anime equivalent of a morning blowjob? No. And that's incredibly tasteless. Why would you even make a connection like that? But is it one of the best things I've ever seen in my life? Maybe. Demo, I don't know if that's a bold statement or not. I'm not sure what kind of life you lead, what kind of things you've seen, man. Well, rest assured, I've bared witness to a lot of gnarly stuff. Here's a prairie dog eating a piece of carrot. It's pretty rad if you ask me. Look at him. Look at him go. Oh yeah, and a sequel's coming out soon, so that's exciting. Remember that time I spit a sick nasty anime rap briefly touching on the benefits of Kickstarter? Yeah, me either. But for all the stupid things that do go down over there at the Kickstarter, occasionally good things happen. And I like good things. If you're looking for some quick, memorable, lighthearted fun that maybe you'd like to share with a younger crowd, or perhaps someone who's not all that fond of anime as a whole, should you watch Little Witch Academia? Yeah, watch it twice. And then realize that Diana was sitting in the crowd at the Shiny Chariot show the whole time. She was a fan. Man, what a bitch.